A heavy sandstorm is raging through Egypt. But inside, in dark passageways, the foot of a sort of being in a clad business suit drops. An aura of light follows him wherever he goes. This man is Professor Ward. Clothed like a thinner Dr. Caligari, he looks quite ill-dressed for an exploration in ancient tombs. However, the look of confidence and determination in his sickly toned face speaks otherwise.
It's got to be around here, somewhere.
Ward turns to his right to notice a stone slab, and within an instant, the slab crumbles to dust. All that remains is a container featuring ornate Sumerian carvings on it. And with a wave of his bony hand, the chest opens, revealing a shiny ring untouched by the sands of time. An encrusted pink jewel shimmers exotically upon it.
So easy. Every time.
Suddenly, a ghostly voice booms from out of nowhere, speaking in a strange, ancient language. Professor Ward shockingly understands perfectly.
You're too late. I can't believe it took 4 whole rings before one of you actually got off your high and mighty asses and did something.
The ring flies to his hand at his will, but suddenly, a tear opens up in the space around him. A glowing white light bursts out which starts to blind him. Suddenly, an earthquake erupts. The tomb he is in begins to crack as dust falls. With an inhuman speed, he rapidly searches his pockets for 3 other rings, the exact same design, but holding red, blue, and yellow gems. He's about to raise them up when a ghostly white hand emerges from the tear. Ward is visibly angered, but opens his hand as the 3 rings fly through the cracks of the pyramid into the wide world. Ward smiles. He's left with only one.
And good luck finding them.
Professor Ward is crushed by the falling debris of the tomb. The last thing we see is his hand and a glowing pink ring. It is dusk in the Chatsbury Woods, and upon a creaky-looking old cabin surrounded by the fallen leaves of autumn, an abandoned hut sits within skeletal-like branches. Arriving on the scene is a modern red car, its pristine cleanliness inherently jarring with the worn-out old shack. Out steps 3 late teens, each the spitting image of their social group. James Grayson, clad in a red football jacket, helps his girlfriend out of the car. Britney Solbert emerges, a typical valley girl. With a look of disgust on her face, one wonders why she even bothered to come to this cabin. The final passenger is Bobby Prostan. He looks totally out of place next to these popular kids. A kid clearly ready to ambush someone with the knowledge of the latest metalhead songs.
What a piece of shit.
Remind me again why I let you talk me into this.
Hey man, I told you to expect some freaky Evil Dead shit, didn't I? Besides, you told me you wanted an exciting getaway. I get a cool place to get high. Besides, what kind of better romance is there than when the brave James Grayson, captain of the football team, saves his beloved girlfriend from an oncoming horde of zombies?
But I wasn't expecting this.
Oh, lighten up. Bobby's got a point. Maybe this isn't such a bad place to get away for one night.
What? You too, Brit? Remind me never to underestimate you.
It's chill.
Unbeknownst to them, on one of the many dead trees surrounding them, a crevice opens up and an eye emerges from the darkness and blinks open. It watches them take their first steps towards the cabin as we hear a familiar voice.
Perfect. 3 overbearing, over-emotional teenagers. Just perfect.
That night, Bobby sits stargazing on the porch, smoking a joint. Though the trees seem horrifying and eerie, the moon is out in full, beautifully illuminating the cabin. The door swings open as James confidently walks through and takes a seat next to Bobby.
And how was it, my friend?
To be honest, I can't believe you were right. For such an old place, the mattress are pretty damn silent.
Yeah, how's she doing?
Out like a light switch.
Good, that's good. I'm happy for you guys.
So, what you doing out here? Besides blazing up, of course. I mean, it's one thing for you to kindly find us a retreat, but why did you want to stick around?
I don't know, man. I've always liked this spot. Just kind of peaceful out in the open, you know? Just a perfect view of the stars. I love just looking at space. Any form of life could be out there. Anyone or anything. It's like all those stars. All of them represent our paths. Futures that we'll eventually have to choose from. Get a job. Kids. Families. A nagging wife. All of them up there shining. All are different ways our life could go, and they're just waiting for us. Just watching us.
Wow, what did you put in there? And here I thought you were the one of us most lacking direction.
Just being out here like this, don't you just feel humbled? I can't pretend to know why things are the way that they are, but the universe is so large. Everything must happen for a reason. We'll all do what we need to.
James heads back inside, but as James' feet traverse the creaky wooden floorboards, an ebony black gelatinous hand creeps through the cracks, clawing to the wood. Britney is about to turn in for the night. She is huddled in a blanket, awaiting her boyfriend with a romantic candle. As he walks through the door,
Oh my, what have we here?
Just a little round two as a thank you for this thoughtful little occasion.
Ooh, we are a generous little lady, aren't we?
No, but I'm serious. Chad never did this for me. I'll admit I was kind of hesitant when you suggested this to me, and with Bobby of all people, but it's actually quite nice to get away from everything. Everyone.
Bobby might seem like he's got his head in the clouds, but trust me, he always pulls through with his friends. I just wish I had the guts to stand up to those guys bullying him all the time. He deserves better than a helpless kid like me. But anyway, enough about him. I want to talk about you.
I hate your friends, no offense, but you got no idea how scary it is to be around them as a girl. I feel like a slab of meat in a zoo. Mwah.
suddenly the house starts to shake.
What the hell was that?
Oddly, the candle seems to flicker green for a second.
I don't know. Stay here. I'll check on Bobby.
Bobby opens the door, about to check on his two companions.
What the hell was that?
I was about to ask you.
The whole house shuddered, but that wasn't an earthquake. Man, what did they give me?
Bobby glances down to discover the black slime has almost completely engulfed the floor. The reflective sheen flickers and shifts in mass like insects swarming over a dark, muddy substance.
What the
What is that stuff? We gotta get Brit out of here. Britney, get dressed.
Britney is already ahead of him. As she zips up her jeans, she notices the black slime beginning to creep under the door as if reaching towards her.
What the fuck is going on? What is this shit?
Can you get out the window?
Suddenly, like a time-lapse growth of mold, the black slime begins to grow in the corner of the ceiling. Britney grabs her phone and quickly tries to dive out the nearest window, but as she does, a tendril of slime strikes at her, grabbing her before she can even jump.
Oh my god, it's got me!
Hold on.
But in response, the slime grasps hold of the boy's feet in the same way. Tentacles are pulling them down, stopping them from leaving to see Britney.
It's got us too!
James tries his hardest to break free of the tendril, but he just can't break free of its slimy grasp. He looks back and sees the whole room is almost completely covered in its slithering shadow. He then notices the space around Bobby beginning to dip and depress.
Bobby, look out.
Bobby is being swallowed into the blackness like quicksand. The tendrils are holding him tight, first slowly, then, as he realizes, rapidly shoved down.
Bobby, Britney, are you okay?
The space where Britney was is now completely empty as the darkness has swallowed her whole, as suddenly as it did Bobby. But before James can even wait for a reply, he looks up to see an avalanche of mold drop on his face as he blacks out. Upon waking, Bobby finds that on the floor next to him are his companions, both still unconscious. He looks around to see his surroundings. The front half of the room appears to be a decrepit dusty old basement. But the further he surveys the corners of the room, he notices it leads off into a void of nothingness. Pure black nothing.
Guys, wake up! Where are we?
He then notices a puddle of the same black ooze in front of him on the basement side. It begins to ripple and grow slightly, until suddenly a luminous, glowing, snow-white disembodied head slowly levitates out of it.
Oh god, what the hell have I taken?
I may be a hologram, but this is all perfectly real, my boy. Welcome to my home.
The others groggily wake up and then are shocked awake by the paranormal sight ahead of them.
My name is Professor Ward. I'm sure this is a lot to take in, but time is of the essence. I am an alien being trapped in a tomb in Egypt. I have psychically reached out to you for help in resolving a dire situation. For without your help, the very universe may be in danger.
Bobby, what's going on?
I don't know, James, call it Stoner's intuition, but after all this, I'm kind of inclined to believe whatever the hell the floating head says.
And well you should, for destiny has brought you here to become the children of the sun, the Annunaki.
Wait. Anu what?
The Annunaki, ancient Sumerian warrior gods, who commanded powers over reality itself using specially crafted power rings.
What are you talking about? Wait, didn't you say you were an alien? What does that have anything to do with...
Children, I am growing tired of this. Try to keep up. Time is of the essence. I detected an anomaly while I was surveying the planet and investigated the pyramids of Egypt. It seems as though some foolish humans have accidentally released the Annunnaki's greatest threat, the Olympians.
Olympians? As in Greek? In Egypt?
Bobby, the truth about your gods is older than you could possibly realize. Legend has it Zeus and his brothers overthrew the Titans. But in actual truth, the Olympians were sealed away to prevent them from obtaining the Annunnaki's sacred power rings. Now, behold!
Suddenly, from the blackness of the sky, 3 glowing stars gently fall to the ground in front of the 3 teens. The teens almost instinctively grab to them, as each shines a different color. Red for James, blue for Bobby, and yellow for Britney. The light dissipates immediately to reveal the ancient rings.
Whoa, these look ancient. Are these the...
The Anunnaki power rings. Britney, you in particular possess the skills of Ishtar, a medic equally adept in combat as well as medicine. The goddess of healing will aid you well.
Suddenly, with a yellow flash, the ring is bonded to her finger. It tucks in tighter than before.
What about us?
Bobby, you possess the power of Nana, Sumerian god of the moon, a celestial body constant in the skies of humanity's existence. You will bend eternity to your will and access the viewpoints of potential futures.
Bobby grabs the ring, and after a blue flash, he finds the same.
Well, that's pretty freaking sweet.
Lastly, James, you will command the fight against the Olympians with the power of Utu, Lord of the Sun. You will command the fires of the sun and, in time, the warmth to create life. All alone you may feel strong, but together you 3 are unstoppable. Today, the Anunnaki return.
So, what do we do with them? What are we, superheroes now or something?
The room begins to shake and thud.
Whoa, you guys, is that an earthquake?
Wrong.
A viewing portal opens up on one of the black walls. Inside, we can see a nearby city.
Your city is under attack by Zeus and his Olympian monsters. The time for action is now. Prepare to teleport. Once there, simply raise the ring to the sky and shout, "Ia, Ia, I summon you, O mighty god, to obtain your powers. Good luck."
James turns to Bobby. He looks ecstatic.
Was this any of those stars, Bobby? 'Cause looks like this future got here real fast. We'll finally have the strength to fight back against the bullies. You know what I mean?
Bobby, on the other hand, looks unsure.
Yeah, it is pretty nifty.
Alright, let's save the city.
The 3 teens within an instant seemingly blink into the middle of the city. An explosion catches their attention as they look to their right. Britney is focused on the civilians running away, but as Bobby notices, and then James, they quickly shove Britney in the right direction. They try and make sense of this creature before them. Hooves for legs, a crimson brownish hide-like torso, a single bronze horn, pointy ears, ferocious claws carrying a wooden club, a single lone eye. Finally, they realize its expression portrays only mindless malice. This thing is dumb and only cares about one thing: destruction.
Is that a Cyclops?
Oh god.
As the crowd continue to huddle and back away, a whole swarm of Cyclopes surround them by a wall.
I can't believe it. This is real. They're really real. What are we gonna do? We gotta go. Look how many there are.
No, Brit. Remember, this is our chance. We can stand up to them now.
We don't even know if this is going to work, though.
There's only one way to find out then.
James raises his hand out, clutching his palm, raising the gem on his ring out wide.
Ei, I summon you, almighty Utu.
An otherworldly red glow emerges from James's ring. It begins to swirl, and within a moment his whole body is engulfed in the energy, which then erupts into fire. But strangely, he is unharmed, and not even flinching.
James, are you okay?
James!
Suddenly, the fire dissipates all at once, as if a candle blown out. A battle-ready warrior clad in alien red armor now stands ready to fight. Its gold trimmings shine luminously, and its visor shows no emotion. It looks almost like a Mesopotamian soldier, recreated using alien technology. Finally, a glowing sphere on its chest combusts with a fiery ferocity.
James, are you okay?
After a brief pause of anticipation, the calm James turns to his girlfriend and in a sort of alien voice changer, answers.
Never better. I can feel the power surging through me. You ready to take these things?
Britney looks to Bobby for assurance, and slowly steps forward. Bobby follows cautiously.
As ready as we'll ever be, I guess.
They raise their rings to the sky.
Ya, I summon you, almighty Ishtar.
Yellow and blue flames engulf them respectively as they emerge in their new warrior armors.
Whoa, I don't believe this. Check me out.
This is the first time, but it feels so familiar.
I know what you mean. Now, let's take them.
The free Annunaki warriors charge the Cyclops swarm. Just as fast, though, the Cyclops clubs transform into axes from out of nowhere. It is no match, though, for the might of the new heroes in town as the free teens punch their ways through the mindless, one-eyed monsters with ease. The civilians notice their new saviors. A mother and two children look up in awe. The children are ecstatic, but the mother has a look of sheer terror on her face. A man at the corner of the crowd has been edging to a nearby turning slowly and quickly shoos the others away. The crowd begins to move, and initially, a small child follows his family, but slowly falls into a walking pace so we can watch the superhero action. Meanwhile, the Cyclops just keep getting up. They drag themselves back to life like zombies, seemingly resilient to the physical punch-up the teens are dealing them.
These powers are incredible.
But they aren't staying down. What gives? I thought the professor said they'd be no match for us.
Annunaki, you have yet to access your true powers. Look deep within yourself and focus on what you need from the life energy around you.
What the hell does that mean?
Wait, I've got it.
His emblem glows, and suddenly he's able to bend the air to create fireballs from his hands.
What the
That is so cool.
Your move.
James launches a jet stream of fire straight at the crowd of Cyclopes, but they dive out the way, and it's now on a collision course with a little boy. The mother peeks round the corner to find her child still out there just as the flames are about to burn him, when suddenly, a bull-like monster, dressed like a Roman soldier, drops from a sudden strange tear in reality above the boy, protecting him from the oncoming fireball with his shield. The child is terrified. The monster turns its goat head to him, but the still neutral expression and its pulsing red eyes portray no sense of any emotion toward the boy.
Watch out there, James. You almost hit the kid.
You've got to be more careful. With great power comes great responsibility.
Suddenly, Bobby is attacked by Cyclops.
You're right. But it looks like we got a new problem to deal with.
The new monster, Aries, dashes towards the red Annunaki, as a sword gruesomely emerges from its wrist. It heads for a slash, but James quickly shields himself as his elbows are enveloped by flames to protect him. Brittany watches to make sure the boy gets back to his mother, but now both of them stare at her comrades in total fear. But Brittany seems unaware of that.
They're safe. They're out of here now.
Great. Quick, get any of those Cyclops things before they come after them.
Brittany and Bobby head over to the direction of the civilians and begin to fight the oncoming waves of Cyclopes. Meanwhile, fire begins to swirl around James as his symbol begins to glow before finally, an explosion emits from his body with such intensity it knocks Aries back. James stumbles back and collapses.
James, are you okay?
Brittany, your powers.
You're right, but how do I...
James! Oh no, what are we gonna do?
The red Annunaki lies motionless. Aries regains his footing and goes in for another strike. Brittany puts her hand on James's symbol, but nothing is happening. She tries to pull energy from herself. Bobby rapidly looks back and forth between Aries and Brittany. He wants to help, but his body is trembling with fear with every moment. The mad Ovis rampages forward. Brittany's emblem begins to glow yellow as her hands pulsate with an ethereal energy. It ripples the air like the heat of the sun. Bobby is too busy finding the confidence to move than notice Brittany's struggle though. But in a flash, he locks into a battle stance and is ready to tackle the monster. His hands outstretched. His insignia glows in the aura of blue fire. And suddenly, everything freezes. Time has been stopped. Bobby stands still for a few seconds, unsure what is going on. He then gets up, inspecting Aries.
Wait, what just... is this... Oh my god, I stopped time. I've literally stopped time.
He looks at his wrist and sees a control panel made entirely of energy, like a hologram, only the alphabet is a strange, archaic, indescribable language.
I can't believe this. Wait, am I stuck? I have no idea how I did this. Oh, shit. How the hell do you read this thing?
He takes a moment to just inspect the inhumanity of Aries' appearance, but wanders over back to Brittany healing James, gazing at the energy flowing out of the yellow Annunaki gauntlets.
I can't believe it. Brittany, you actually did it. You're in control. Wait, that gives me an idea. You're nothing but a bully. I've been dealing with bullies all my life. Let me tell you, you're nothing special.
Back at regular speed, James regains consciousness and looks up to see the healing energy of Ishtar flowing through Brittany's hands.
Brit, I don't believe it. You saved me.
Look, one, it's cliche, but we're a team, remember? I wasn't just gonna let you suffer. And two, you're my goddamn boyfriend, idiot.
James looks over to see Bobby pointing out his arm to Aries. The blue Annunaki is struggling with the energy, but the ram-like god of war stands motionless, frozen in time. But not for much longer, as within seconds, James and Brittany watch as Aries' skin begins to discolor and decompose right before their very eyes. The few Cyclops seem to blink out of existence at this, crumbling to dust.
Whoa, way to go, Bobby!
Bobby grins with pride as he has finally tamed Nana's time energy, but suddenly he hears a voice in his head.
Don't let him get the last 2 rings. Only hope.
Did you guys hear that voice?
Hear what voice? Bobby?
Don't worry, I must be a little shell-shocked. Need a little rest.
Don't worry, kiddo. You saved our asses out there. If anybody deserves downtime, it's you.
Thanks.
Bobby looks away, trying to make sense of an eerie feeling of foreboding he has. Back at the basements, the teens, now unmorphed, once again stand before the luminous presence of Professor Ward.
Annunaki, I am very proud of you, as you should be of yourselves. For today, you handled the situation well.
Who was that freaky bull dude?
That was Aries, one of Zeus' most prized generals.
Wait, you gotta be shitting me right now. Bobby killed the freaking god of war. That's insane. This is totally insane.
But believe it or not, this is your life from now on. You are the Annunaki warriors, defenders of the power rings.
I never would have guessed the Greek gods were evil. I guess the truth is stranger than fiction.
There is one last thing I must reveal to you. For around this world, the Olympians will try to find the remaining 3 power rings. It is your duty to keep them out of their malevolent hands. For if they gain all 6, they will gain control of the very fabric of reality. Can I entrust you with this task?
I feel like this is what destiny called us to do. Don't you agree?
Totally.
What? Oh yeah, definitely. We're superheroes after all.
In time, you will unlock powers to control reality on a greater scale than you can possibly imagine. When the time next comes, I will summon you back to this basement. Do you have any questions?
Honestly, I feel if you try to explain any of this, it's gonna go straight over our heads, so...
I've got one.
Bobby steps forward. His gut instinct is warning him about something.
How exactly did you know our names? We never told you them when we got here.
Yes, you did, Bobby. Don't you remember? James, Britney? Besides, now you've bonded with the power rings over the past few months, you share a link directly into my mind.
Yeah, Bobby. I remember when we met him. Don't you?
Yeah, of course. Ward's been like a father to us.
Right, yeah. Well, I do have another question. I think that thing tried speaking to me while I was aging it. I think it said it was scared of us getting the last 2 rings, but we only have 3, right?
Nonsense. My boy, don't worry about Olympian deceptions. Now go, take leave. Enjoy your lives.
See you next time, Ward.
Later that day, the 3 teens depart the cabin. James and Britney head back and sit in the car, as Bobby pulls out his phone to check the date.
The date's right. I didn't somehow go to a different time spot, but we've only known that guy a few hours.
Come on, Bobby. We want to get home already.
Yeah, Bobby. I thought you'd be more excited. None of us expected this direction for our lives. We're real superheroes.
Bobby gets into the car and starts driving.
Yeah, I guess it does feel good to finally have some power. No more aimless brooding. We're in control of our destiny now.
But as the car leaves, the watching eye of Ward waits once more.
Good little children. You'll find me those last 2 rings before you even realize anything is wrong. How delightful.